Hello everyone and welcome to your weekly reading for the week of June 8th. My name is Debbie, this is the Mind, Body, Soul Evolution, and welcome back. So this week we have a lot of energy and chances are you're already feeling it. So we have Venus will be moving into Cancer on the 8th. Venus will be entering into Leo. We have a super new moon in Gemini. So let's get to our astrology. I'll get to my notes and we will pull your cards. So on June 8th, Venus, the planet of love and luxury, right? She moves into Cancer, the nurturing sign of Cancer, right? So this is shifting our focus to family and home and emotional security. For me, on a personal note, this is Martini, this is really hitting home. So it may be for some of you as well. So that is on the 8th. On the 9th, Venus will conjunct Jupiter, right? Jupiter is the planet of expansion and luck. So this will be happening also in the sign of Cancer. So this is considered in astrology to be one of the, if not the, luckiest days of the year. This transit, right, brings massive abundance, wealth, and relationship healing. So yeah, so I would maybe take some time on the 9th, right? Maybe give yourself some downtime or step away from the things that distract you from home life and healing, right? Heart healing. On June 13th, Venus enters Leo. So that shifts gears, right, from the emotional depths of Cancer to the fiery confidence of Leo, our lion, right? Our fire sign, our second fire sign. So this transit reignites your passions, your creativity, and your self-expression. So some of you may be finding a whole new voice, or you might be getting a little bolder in the way you present yourselves, right? A little more authentic to who you are. You may not be shying away as much as you were in the past. And on June 14th, again, I told you, this is a busy week. So I'm doing this video today is Saturday the 6th, June 6th. I'm doing this early because there's so much happening. You might need a couple days to digest this video. And on June 14th, we have the super new moon in Gemini. This new moon offers, this whole week really is offering the opportunities for new doors to open, for powerful fresh starts, and enchanted social communications. The stars are aligning amidst everything that is happening globally. That's fine, right? We are who we are. We are spiritual beings, and we know to dive a little deeper. We're not staying on the surface, right? Or we're not playing in the shallow end. We are diving deep. So let's get into this. Martini, you're going to let me read? We will move into Hello Aries. We will start off with our Aries friends as we do. This is our weekly reading for the week of June 8th. With all this happening, Aries, our first fire sign, what does this week hold for you? Okay. Martini's like, I'm just going to lay here and take up some space. Right? Are you just taking up space? Are you being nice? Okay. We'll take this. A lot of cards here. Okay. Take that one too. A lot of cards. Aries. On the root of the deck, 7 of Swords. We'll see where that takes us. You have the High Priestess, the Ace of Wands, the Chariot, the 4 of Swords, right? So the 4 of Swords, and you see like she has her heart on the outside of her. And sometimes we have to put space, between us and our emotions. We kind of have to sit off to the side so we can start to heal ourselves. But here's the thing. You have the High Priestess, right? You have all the knowledge, Aries, and wisdom of the universe. This is probably, you might be tapping in just a little deeper into your intuition. The 7 of Swords for our Aries friends is the cards are telling me that you're taking back your truth, or spirit, whatever it is. It's telling me you're taking back your truth. You're owning who you are. You're allowing yourself to be this magnetic, majestic person, right? You are a leader. You are a cardinal sign. You are the first sign of the zodiac. You are the first leader that we have. That can sometimes, bring some exhaustion. We can feel separated from ourselves when we have so much responsibility. But here's the thing. You kind of signed up for certain things. And now you're starting to understand why you did that, right? The Ace of Wands. Your sixth chakra is starting to illuminate a little stronger, maybe even a lot stronger. You're finally starting to see why you have the life that you have, why you're on the path that you're on. And this is not something that you're going to find in a book. I mean, that might stir something in you, but this is all intuitive messages coming in. You might find, again, to reconnect to your heart, you need to take a break. And maybe you've been separated from your heart space, and this is bringing you back there. Interesting, Aries. I love this, and thank you. You always start us off on a lovely note. I'm sorry. I'm not bothering you. And say hi. We'll move on to Taurus. Hello, Taurus. Welcome to your reading for the week of June 8th. It's June already. Like, can you believe it? This year has flying by. This card came out face down. I'll keep it face down. I don't know if you can hear her purring or not. Okay, Taurus on the root of the deck. Queen of Pentacles. This is your queen. You are an earth sign. Queen of Pentacles is the queen of earth, right? So stability and all the things that make you who you are. But let's see what your cards face down hold. Seven of Pentacles. Two of Swords. The Devil. So one major arcana. So, and here's the thing. This is you. This is you. Like this seven, the Queen of Pentacles. This is your queen. Remembering who you are, right? Remembering the greatness, Taurus, that you are. You've worked really, really hard to cultivate the life that you have. There may have been some distractions, maybe some acute distractions or some things that have maybe kept you a little blind to where you're going. And here's the thing. Distractions are opportunities for us to take a look. They're doors of awareness, opportunities to give us, to ask us to step into our intuition, right? If you're being distracted, generally we know when we're being distracted. Generally we know when we're getting off course. That's a time to lean back into your intuition. If anything is distracting you from stability, from the craft that you're doing, from knowing exactly who you are, from being who you were meant to be, that's a distraction. That is asking you, again, Aries just had this, leaning into your intuition. Usually when there's a blindfold in the tarot, not always, but usually when there's a blindfold, that's for you to step away from the external distractions and go to your internal space. The crows, right? Crows are very spiritual birds. They're very intuitive. So when they come up, that's another sign for you to tap into your intuition and say, oh, I'm sorry, Mr. Distraction. Okay, come on. Thank you. Say, thank you. But you know what? Like, I reject the distraction. I know who I am. I don't need anyone. I'm not going to allow anyone to pull me away from my greatness. She's got her eyes closed. She's got a little smile on her face, and she's very comfortable. She does not have to extend her hand out. Her arms are crossed. She's very relaxed. And he kind of has to, when you're being pulled away, right? Because something literally has a hand out, pulling you away from who you are. You might notice some of that, Taurus. So again, go inside, let go of the external world, go to your internal world, and remember what it is that you're working on and what it is you're working toward. The Taurus, that is your reading. Put the cards back. We will go into, hello Gemini. How is Gemini? Gemini season. Gemini, you have your new moon. Oh, Jesus. My goodness. These cards are jumping out all over the place. You have your new moon. So how exciting for you. So, of course, Gemini is affected by that. And your balancing sign or your sister sign, Sagittarius, right, will be feeling the effects as well. Let's see, what does this week hold for our Gemini friends? Yeah, there's a lot happening during the time of your sign, happening in different signs, but during your illumination. So Gemini, let's see. On the root, you have the Hanged Man. And I love this deck. I always love the depictions here. Checking in with your higher self, right? Yeah, you have the Nine of Wands, the Three of Wands, the King of Swords. This is your king. So this is connecting to your higher self. What, Gemini, have you been protecting yourself from? Or what boundaries have you been putting up? And are they protecting you or doing what you expected the boundary to do? Or has it held you back instead of holding something else back? Has it held you back? And maybe it's time to take another look. Maybe to step over this fence or just to get rid of it and step to the edge and let some new inspiration make its way. You're coming into a time of really good clarity. This is your king. And I love how Taurus just had their queen and now your king is showing up. And just look at all the birds on here. Just as if you happen to see them around, we have a crow, we have a bat, we have an owl, and we have a, I forget what that's called, but we know what that's called. Dragonfly. So if you happen to see any of these birds, especially or winged creatures, especially if they're not prone to your area, like I'm in New Jersey, there are dragonflies everywhere. We have crows everywhere. We have bats everywhere. We have owls. But if you're in an area where you don't normally see them, that's a sign that tells you that's a positive sign that says yes. But again, you're leaning into your higher self. So you're stepping away from, again, I think you're going to find you set up some boundaries that it's time to break free from. Maybe there's a different way to get across your point and to actually create what you want. Interesting, Gemini. That is your reading. We'll move into, hello, Cancer. How are you? Cancer, you are really busy this week. I mean, Venus, oh my goodness. I can just feel the excitement. And I've had, if you saw my other video, I've had a rough couple of days this week. And things tend to work out. Seven of Wands. Okay, now we just had the Seven of Swords before, right? Now we have Seven of Wands. We had Seven of Pentacles also. Just as a side note, the number 7, in case that's something for you. You have two major arcanas, Cancer, the Sun, the luckiest card, the happiest card in the tarot. And just look, I mean, there's like a vortex from the sun straight to her, right over her head. She's dancing, she's twirling, her arms are extended. So things are lighting up for you. You're starting to find your magic. Temperance. So this is Sagittarius, so lean into your Sagittarius friends. I would also see, Cancer, where Sagittarius is in your birth chart. Look that up and look up the meaning of that, because that's going to be very important, right? It might have symbology for you. This is balancing things out, right? But there's also, you have some really deep angelic guidance behind you. Although some would say this is Archangel Gabriel in the traditional Rider-Waite. For some of our Cancerian friends, these are your ancestors coming forward. And some of your ancestors may be considered magic people, witches, wise, sages, because you're tapping into this ability to use the elements and the wisdom of your ancestors that came before you to create the life that you want. But in doing so, and in true Cancer style, you might put yourself in a little bubble, and you may not be sharing a whole lot of this with people. And I'm a big fan of don't always tell everyone what you're doing. Right? You're working towards something for yourself. You're working for illumination. You're saying you're solving for peace. This is what Spirit just said, solving for peace. Only Cancer will know what this means. Is there a situation in your life or people around you that are seeking a peaceful resolution? Some of you may be mediators, right? But here's the thing. Look, I love the lunar cycles around here, but she has candles and she's got her books and her potions and her crystals. So using the things that are available to you, the things that spark you. Your inner magic is lighting up, Cancer. And in doing so, just sitting inside this little bubble, you can see the bubble around her just starting to take life. It's a powerful time for you, Cancer. It's a lot of love. You have a lot of energy in your sign right now. So, yeah, take a moment and sit in your bubble for a little bit. But you are creating, right? Temperance, balance and harmony. This is also, well, in this card, but this is also about alchemizing and creating. And you have the alchemizing card in this deck, right? The Eight of Pentacles. Creating something fabulous, Cancer. So when you're ready, you can share it with us and let us know what that is. And we will move on to hello, Leo. How is Leo today? And today is, again, it's June 6th. It's Saturday. So it's a nice day here in New Jersey. It's a little hot. It's 90 degrees, but that's fine. So let's see what the week of June 8th holds for our Leo friends, shall we? The Hanged One again. Okay. Okay. Three of Swords, Eight of Wands, Eight of Cups. 2 8s. So if the number 8 means anything to you. This is very interesting, Leo. Because I wonder if some of you are going on a solo journey. So the Eight of Cups in the traditional Rider-Waite generally means walking away from something. I like to say in this deck, it's walking towards yourself. There's a sun coming up in the horizon. So if some of our Leos are in a business partnership, I think that partnership is dissolving. And I think it's going to be a good thing. Although you do have the Three of Hearts, we'll get to that. Something is calling you back to yourself. So and I feel like this is a solo journey. I really get the feeling that some of our Leos are not necessarily cutting ties, but maybe leaving a business partnership because they are better off on their own. And that came from tuning into your higher place, right? That higher self, that all-knowing that you know is there. Is it hard? Yeah. But each time, instead of feeling like this is like something stabbing you in the heart, this is actually a call to heal your heart. For some of our Leos, you've been doing something or in the process of something. And again, this comes up as business, but it may not be. That has been keeping you from yourself. And that has actually been the thing that has been breaking your heart. Once you decide, you know inside of you, it's time to move forward. It's time to return home to yourself. Things move very quickly. Swift, fast action. They're telling me June 10th. So, and we have a lot of planetary shifts and energies. this week. So, Leo, you're coming home to you. This is what's being healed. This is the pain of the past. And you may not realize it until you start to take the steps forward back to your authentic self, or back to the creative spark that you know is within you. If that makes any sense. So, Leo, that is your reading. We will go on to Virgo. Hello, Virgo. How are you? Let's get to your reading for this week. It's a week for sure. It's a busy week. I'm actually a little fortunate that the gym I work at, one of the locations is shutting down for 2 weeks. I am looking forward to it. I am so looking forward to it. I will be in New York City on Wednesday. So I think, as of now, I will be. So I'm so looking forward to it, because I need to reevaluate my schedule. Okay, you got a lot of cards here. We'll take them though. Right, we'll take them, Virgo. 5 of Pentacles, 2 of Cups. Here we go. The Devil, the Hierophant, the Strength. And sometimes, our signs need a little more. 9 of Cups. Okay, Virgo. So here we go. Where do we want to start? Okay. So I get the feeling you're starting to settle into your emotions. You're allowing yourself to feel things that you haven't allowed yourself to feel before, if that makes any sense. Or maybe you weren't able to. You have the 5 of Pentacles. And I just said maybe you're starting to feel things, allow yourself to feel things now that you didn't feel before, because maybe you were not able to, because maybe you didn't know how. Maybe you didn't have the key as to how to get in touch with yourself. 2 of Cups. This is harmony. This is harmony coming in, and it's almost, okay, this is not for all of our Virgos, but for some of our Virgos, were you afraid of partnerships or harmony, or even letting love in, or feeling those emotions within you? Maybe there was a past pain or a betrayal from the past that has kept you from allowing yourself to feel. That's starting to heal and dissipate. And just look at the colors, right? When the rainbow colors come in and there's sunlight shining through, so there's light coming through the clouds. This is funny. We have heaven and hell. This has never happened in my readings. We have heaven and hell, right? This, like, what has ever called you to tell you, whatever that voice was, to tell you that, there is no key for you to keep your head down, that's disappearing. Because the higher self, the Hierophant, right, the hierarchy, is saying, lift your head up. The key is there. Pick your head up, my dear. You are strong enough. You're strong enough to feel the feelings, because you would not have been created with these feelings if you could not handle it. Unity and joy and happiness are coming to you. I just love this. Heaven and hell next to each other. 3 major arcanas. 3 of them. The Devil, the Hierophant, and Strength. So, right, Leo energy. Lean into your Leo friends. There's a lot happening here, a lot in the heart space, a lot of awarenesses that you go, oh, wait a minute. I just have to literally look up, and what I need is right. The key for what I want is right there. I have to get out of the darkness, though, get out of the clouds, and let the light guide me in. Whether it is your internal light, your soul light, source, divine, whatever it is you believe in. Or maybe you sit in meditation and you just let the answers come. Or maybe you sit in your emotions. And as you do, you start to rise above your emotions. I think I've said this before, and I'm not by any means a biblical scholar. But, there's a passage about Jesus walked on water. Maybe he did. But maybe that meant he's the King of Cups. Maybe he just rose above his emotions because he had things to do. And he could let his emotions carry him, but they will not override what he needs to do. They will not override him when he has to make his way out of the dark. They will rise him up to his own higher self. It will rise him up to joy and unity. It will rise him up to find the strength within to do what his works were in this world. I don't know. Virgo, that's a lot of reading. Let me know how that resonates. Always, if you want to share, feel free to share in the comments. If you want to just reach out to me privately and say, I have a question, go ahead and do so. And if you want to get on the books, I have the Summer Solstice Special for $99. That ends on June 21st. Unless there's a need for me to extend it. So Virgo, that is your reading. Libra. How is Libra? What does this week hold for you? Venus also rules Libra. So with all these Venus transits, my goodness, Tanya. Libra, you're going to feel this as well. Yeah. So what does this week hold for our Libra friends? Oh my goodness. On the root of the deck, Libra, 9 of Cups. Look at that. Jumping right out of the little treasure chest there. Treasures of the heart, right? Cups are about the heart and emotions and love and the treasure chest. So it's going to be about treasures of the heart for you. 2 of Cups, we just had that. The Wheel of Fortune, Sagittarius, 10 of Swords. So yeah, so you're getting into your heart space and out of your head space, right? You're getting into the relationships that really matter to you and the things that really kind of move you. And you're releasing the need to overthink or overanalyze. And you're an air sign, right? So our air signs, they always overanalyze. Like they can have, all of our air signs can have an argument for anything on either side. You make great attorneys. But you're kind of setting that free because you know there's a much bigger reality for you. You're turning the Wheel of Fortune. This is Sagittarius. You're turning, Sagittarius has two, the Temperance and the Wheel of Fortune. So the Wheel of Fate and Destiny, you're changing direction with that. It's not that you're not using your logic and your intellect, because you are. But that is no longer taking over. You're letting it guide you, but you're moving with your emotions. You're moving from a place of what makes you feel good into a feeling space instead of a knowing space, if that makes any sense. I just love this card. I thought I'd just show this a little longer. This is about the things, again, that you feel connected to, that are secure for you in your heart center space. So the heart is illuminated for you this week, Libra. If you want, let us know how that goes. Put these back in the deck and we will move on to Scorpio. Scorpio, how are you? Welcome to your reading for the week of June 8th. I almost said January 8th. June 8th. Can you believe this? It is true, but I still cannot. But what does this week hold for our Scorpio friends? Let's see. Yeah. And one more. That's funny. Some signs, a bunch of cards come out. They need more cards. And other signs, we just go with the flow. The sun. I love this. The sun is coming out a lot today. The sun is outside here today. The sun is out on our cards today. Joy, happiness, illumination. Okay, what are we illuminating? This devil keeps coming out too. Okay. So the sun is illuminating 4 swords. Sorry. 6 of Cups. I'm probably going to pull a couple more cards for Scorpio. Because the sun is illuminating, again, this week, there's a lot of emotional healing. But you have to take a look at what actually hurt you. You have to look at the root of what hurt you. For some of you, it's probably something that happened a long time ago, depending on how old you are. Probably something that happened a long time ago that has been sitting inside of you that maybe you haven't realized that's going to be making its way to the surface, or the universal forces or the sun is going to shine a light on it. Because here's the thing. We're here to heal, right? We're here to heal. Let me put a couple more cards, though. I want a little more on this Four of Swords, please. And again, like I said, sometimes some of our signs need a couple more cards. So what can you tell me about the Four of Swords for Scorpio? Six of Cups. Six of Cups. So it's, like I said before, I get the feeling it's something from your past. This is definitely something from your past that is being illuminated. Again, it could be something you've forgotten about, something that you have pushed away. It's coming back, right? The devil is here. So it's making a resurgence. But when things resurge, right, come back, sometimes we think, we get the feeling like, why am I being punished? But you're not. This is because you need to heal this thing. Yeah, King of Wands. Right, if the passion and excitement in a certain area has been gone or missing, it's coming back. Every time something comes back, an old pain, an old frustration, if you have the same types of misunderstandings with people. I will give you an example. I had a note on my door this morning, and I'd opened it a little while ago, and it was from my neighbor downstairs. And she's a smoker, so her smoke, when she smokes outside, it comes up, and it comes into my windows and into my unit. And I'm not a smoker, so it smells bad. So, and she doesn't smoke in her place, right? So I closed the window. My windows are old; they close really heavy. So she made a comment about, she apologized for the smoke, but said, but you don't have to slam your windows. I'm like, So I waited a little bit, I ran some errands, and I went and I talked to her. And I just went down and had a conversation. And she said, oh, that's not even what I meant. She said, I was just apologizing for the smoke. She goes, and I just mentioned that the windows, I said, oh, the windows are old, they stick. So we had this lovely conversation. So I could have sat with misunderstanding what she meant in the note, right? But that wouldn't have been any good. That would have been, me like sitting there with a hard heart. But I went to go talk to her. And now, we had a great conversation. So, an old pattern would have been me in the past, getting frustrated or aggravated and just ignoring. I said, no, let me just be an adult. Let me go down and talk to her. And I did. And we had a great conversation. So when things come back up, Scorpio, it's not a punishment. It's like, okay, how did you handle it in the past? And that's what I said about how would I handle this in the past and how will I handle it today? And we had a lovely conversation, and it was great. It was great. So when things come back, it's because you're ready to take a look at it, you're ready to heal, and you're ready to understand. So Scorpio, that is your reading. Let's move on to Sagittarius. Hello, Saggies. How are you? Yeah, we just had our full moon in Sagittarius. I'm still feeling it for sure. And I'm sure you are too. But let's see. It feels like we just had it. I guess it's a little while ago. Sagittarius, what does this week hold for you? Let's see, shall we? Sagittarius, on the root of the deck for you, King of Swords. You're getting really clear. Again, this card came out. I just had a buzz. This card came out before. So let's see. Damn. So if you're watching the whole video, most folks don't, right? They go to their sign, the sun. the Magician, Two of Swords, King of Swords, two swords, two major arcanas. So, right, Sagittarius. Here we go. Like, your abilities, your strengths, your powers, your beliefs, your intuition, it's all being illuminated this week. You're going to have a big surge of really tuning in to where you can pick it up on at the moment it happens. Instead of second guessing it, you're going to know. Again, you're moving into your inner world, away from the outside world, right? Getting rid of the exterior distractions, listening to your intuition. These are guides on the other side guiding you. It may be spirit guides for some of you. It's also, I know one is my grandmother on my dad's side. Of course, she would be here anyway because we just had the passing of my cousin on my dad's side. So she's very prevalent for me. But there's guides on the other side helping you to realize just what energy you have within you. You're getting really clear. So there's not going to be any, Sagittarius, not going to be any second guessing on what you should be doing. This is really pretty neat, on what you should be doing and your ability to do it. So this is time, Sagittarius, right? The sun is shining on you. Put yourself out there. Do your thing, right? Allow your magical self to be seen. There's nothing else I can say, Sagittarius. That was great. And my Saggy friends, if you have any questions, comments, you want a little deeper dive for yourself, feel free to reach out. We move on to Capricorn. Hello, Capricorn. Welcome to your reading for the week of June 8th. Hold on. Let's get these cards back in order here. We're not going to pull all of those, Capricorn. That would be a lot. Capricorn's like, I want a lot of cards. Now, let's see. I'm telling you. Okay. I'm having a little trouble shuffling. My cousin that just passed, he's a Capricorn. This could be why. But that's okay. We'll get it together. We'll get it together because we're supposed to, right? And if I don't get it quite together, then that's fine. Because you're loving people. We see the human in all these aspects and elements, right? Capricorn, on the root of the deck, Queen of Pentacles. Again, right? Taurus had this, and now you have it. You're queen. This is you. You're confident. You're self-reliant. You are self-made. You are comfortable. You like luxury, for sure. Four of Cups. The Devil keeps coming up as well. Seven of Cups. To get to here, boy, some of our Capricorn friends have been through it. You have, for some of our Capricorn friends, there could be someone on the other side that has passed away. That you're missing right now. If you are missing them, if they're coming into your mind and your heart a lot, that means they are there. They're there for a message. Don't let yourself get lost and thinking that it's not a message. It is a message. Somebody's trying to communicate with you from the other side. They're asking you to follow your dreams. So whoever Capricorn is out there who is listening, whatever loved ones you have on the other side that have been in your heart and mind for I don't know, the past couple of days or weeks, they want you to follow your dreams and not to be afraid of what you don't know. Oh. Sorry. Spirit is talking and I can't always pick it up. They're saying don't be afraid of what you don't know, and don't be afraid of like something going wrong or something being scary. Right? There's no need. You are much greater than this. You're much greater than this. So there's nothing to be afraid of, but you're definitely being guided in a certain path. So if there's some kind of fear is kind of a big word though, right? Or hesitation, it's probably a better way to describe it. uncertainty, you're being asked to go for it anyway because you're confident. You are the royalty. You have everything within you. You have all the wisdom and knowledge of your ancestors, and they are there. So when you feel that loss or that longing for them, they're just there guiding you. But they're, again, you are stronger than this. This has no power over you. And yeah, move into the unknown of your dreams, whatever they are. It's time to follow that path. Interesting. Capricorn, that is your reading. We will go on to Aquarius. Hello, Aquarius. How are you? I love Aquarians. Oh, they're so sweet. They're so smart, and they're just so easygoing. You know, there are some signs that are really, really easygoing. I would like to say Sagittarians are, but sometimes I'm not. But most Saggies are. But most signs, right, are fairly easygoing. We all have our little quirks, but Aquarius, what does this week hold for you? Strength, Leo. So I would see where Leo is at in your birth chart. Look that up, and then just Google what that means, what house it's in. Okay, there's too many cards. What house Leo is in, and then what other planets are in that house with Leo. Okay. Aquarius, you pulled your own card, the Star. High Priestess. Again, like a lot of really highly psychic energy coming up, right? But of course it is. Of course it is. So for some of our, it's very interesting, for some of our, you have 3 major arcanas out of the 5. For some of our Aquarian friends, you might be just starting to dive into your intuition. For some of you, this might be a very, very, very new process. This is your card, by the way. So whenever you pull your own card, whenever it comes out for you in your reading, that'll put you in a higher position of success. I feel like for our Aquarians, though, this is something you've known for a very long time, that there's been a different element of yourself. And now it's finally time for you to kind of lean into that. Once you do, it will probably happen very quickly. It's going to take a lot of, maybe not a lot, but it's going to take some trusting. Trusting of yourself and your intuition to let this open up. You might be actually working with a coach, someone to help guide you to interpret what your intuition is and what it's saying. When you get these hints of inspiration, when it first starts, or when you first start, I should say when we first start paying attention to it, because it's always there. But when we first start to pay attention to it, it can be like, wait, what was that? What does that mean? Do I do this? And then we tend to overanalyze and overthink, and next thing we know, like, it's gone. So I think some of our Aquarians are going to start to work with an intuitive guide or a soul guide, someone to help them kind of have a greater understanding of, not dissect, but have a greater understanding of what this means for you. This is a new thing for a lot of our Aquarians, and you're going on to a different path, a path of the unknown. But you wouldn't have it if you didn't have the ability to do it. So expect a lot of information coming in, and it's okay, Aquarius, if you don't understand it. Reach out, I'm here. Aquarius, this is exciting. This is exciting. And this is part of your destiny. She has the infinity symbol. So this is part of your fate, your destiny, your soul contract in this life. So Aquarius, very, very interesting reading. And we will move on to, hello, Pisces. How are you? Our Pisces friends. I love Pisces. My firstborn is a Pisces. 8 of Wands. 8 of Cups, 2 8s. So if that number means anything, my firstborn, she's a Pisces, and her favorite number is 8. Interesting. So, a 5 of Swords. Okay, at the deck, but rid of the deck. 4 of Pentacles. Pisces. What are... So some of our Pisces, it might feel like you're trying to ground yourself. Okay, 4 of Pentacles is like taking care of all 4 corners of the foundation, right? And security. You can see like she has her little change purse or her wallet, and she's holding it really, really close. You have the 5 of Swords. So it could be like you're overwhelmed in your mind. And it could be that feeling that things are moving a little too quickly for you. Or they feel like they're moving way too fast. But this invitation, I'm going to pull a couple more cards for our Pisces friends. You're stepping out of a comfort zone, Pisces. And you're going to someplace you haven't been before. I'm going to pull a couple more cards out. Because, yeah. So, although you can set the foundation, it's asking you to let go. To let go. To let go of the thoughts in your mind that are keeping you from moving forward. But once you do, things will move very quickly. But let me get some clarity on this 5 of Swords for Pisces. Because it's almost as if in this card, like you're not trusting your intuition, and you're highly intuitive. It's almost like you're not trusting your intuition, as if something is getting in the way of you hearing it. So let's see. Can I get some clarity on the 5 of Swords here for Pisces? Yeah, Queen of Cups. This is your queen. So 5 of Swords. What is keeping you from being your fullest self, Pisces? What is it that's keeping you from growing and for owning exactly who you are? Is it an overactive mind? Is it that things are going so fast? Does it feel like maybe you feel like you're walking away from yourself instead of towards yourself? Or maybe you have walked away from yourself before, or haven't been present for yourself, and now it's time to come back. Let's get some clarity on this 8 of Cups for Pisces. This is a big reading, Pisces. Yeah, 2 of Wands and 6 of Cups. Yeah. And I said in the beginning of this, like, you're going somewhere you haven't been before. Yeah. This is a whole new journey for you. And it's a journey of trust. It's a journey of trust. You're trusting a whole new element of yourself. So maybe it's not about trusting your intuition, Pisces. Maybe this is about trusting your heart. Not letting the mind get in the way, or past experiences get in the way of you allowing your heart to be filled completely. Once you allow yourself to really dive into that space, like you have 8 wands here, let's just fill this Pisces up, because it's a whole new experience, or at least an experience you haven't had for a long, long time. And maybe you've been guarded for a while. And underneath of that, this is the last one, the Lovers. So yeah, this is definitely about relationship. This is definitely about relationship. This is Gemini. This is Gemini, but we have a Gemini here and a Sagittarius here. That's balance. That's harmony. 2 of Wands, right? 2s are about balance and harmony and choices. So you might be making choices that feel really uncomfortable in your mind, but your heart is guiding you in the right direction, Pisces. But Pisces, that is your reading. Everyone, thank you so much for watching. If you have any questions, put them in the comment box or reach out directly. If you got anything out of this video, like it. If you like the channel, subscribe, share it with a a fellow tarot enthusiast. And until next time, I send you light and love. Enjoy the energy, everyone, this week. It's going to be fun.